Did I highlight it?
It's like all pink. I don't know why, but it's okay. I can make it work.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another self love chat. Today, we're talking about something that we all go through, those moments when everything seems to hit at once, when it feels that life is piling up and you're trying to hold it all together, but inside you're overwhelmed.
Yes, definitely. And before we dive in, like this, like you said, this is definitely something we all go through. And
Mhm.
before we dive in, we definitely want to take a second to make sure that we're grounded before we get into it. So, close your eyes if you can, and I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it for a second at the top. Now exhale everything out. All the tension, all the pressure, all the thoughts that are not serving you. You are safe right here, right now, and you are supported. And it's okay to not have it all together because none of us always do. We don't always
Mm-mm.
have it all together.
You don't, especially in the world that we're in right now. It seems like you can
Mhm,
scroll on, and you have, I mean, what's the new thing? Food stamps not being renewed for so many states, and
mhm.
you have just depending on what side of the aisle you're on, political climates, and all of the things can feel so overwhelming right now. And when life gets heavy, we naturally want to either just shut down or fix everything at once. But the truth is, the more we resist our emotions, more they grow. And this is something that I've even talked to my daughters about. I've even said to them, what we have to focus on is the things that we can control. Or sometimes when everything is going crazy around us, we can't control that. So how can we bring it back to self and really kind of figure out and feel what we can control? So let's make sure that we pause for a moment right now. And I want to ask you a question and let us know in the chat who here has ever felt like they had to stay strong even when things were all falling apart inside. Everything is falling around. I know when I was a single mom, I there were many moments where I just felt I had to feel be the one to hold it together. And maybe that's something that you're going through right now. And let's just take that moment.
And I'm pretty sure everyone has felt this. I
Mhm.
always tell my friends, like, I'm the strong friend. Like, I'm the
Mhm.
strong friend. Everybody come to me for help. But it's like, when it's me, I'm like, you know what? I just need to be strong. But, sometimes you have to sit and realize, like, you can't always be strong all the time. You can be strong, but it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to
Mhm.
not have it all together. And it's okay to rely on people to help you. You know, that pressure to be everything for everyone, it gets very exhausting, but you don't have to carry it all. The first step is giving yourself permission to feel what you're going through, literally feel what's happening with your body and
Mhm.
acknowledge those emotions so you can understand what's happening. You know, so say it with me. I just want you to just try this exercise with me. I am safe to feel what I am feeling.
I am safe to feel what I am feeling.
And that's very strong because when you acknowledge your emotions, you release their control over you. Sometimes processing looks like journaling. Sometimes it looks like crying. Sometimes it can be dancing. But you already know I love a good twerk session to make me feel better and release. I'll twerk it out and I'll feel so much. You can't twerk and be angry. It's just not a thing. So movement helps energy flow through the body instead of getting stuck. So sometimes we process things differently, and that's okay. You know,
Mhm.
like what I want everyone to think is what I want you to think on, should I say, is what is one thing you've been trying to carry all alone lately by yourself? What is one thing you've been trying to hold on and protect yourself and say, I can do this by myself, right? I want you to comment in the chat or write it down in your journal, whatever makes you feel, whatever is
Mhm.
good for you. But once you do that, imagine sitting beside yourself, not ignoring it, just releasing the weight of the moment, right? Of whatever you're going through, releasing that weight, sitting next to yourself and just letting it go. Like the next step is basically recentering. Ask yourself, what's in my control right now? What can I give myself grace for? Because overwhelm comes, from focusing on everything at once, but healing comes from taking a gentle step, one at a time.
Mhm.
You know, say it with me, y'all. I may not have figured it all out, but I trust myself to handle what's next.
I may not have it all figured out, but I trust myself to handle what's next.
And really say it with conviction. You know, that trusting yourself, that's your power. That's what becoming her is all about. She doesn't crumble under pressure. She breathes, she feels, and she moves forward intentionally. And that's what we're all trying to do right now. We're stepping into becoming her. We're remembering who we were and allowing that energy, excuse me, to push us forward.
Mhm.
And that's going to help us live through this for sure.
Exactly. I completely agree. I know that focusing and bringing it back to what are the things that are my non-negotiables that I can focus on every single day. That's why I love having, on this channel and on the Single Moms Quotes page, we have a free resource called Living in the Dream Life Era, where we give you the 10 daily habits that help you become her, that
Mhm.
help you create those little tasks every single day that brings you back into control, brings you back to center. Things like meditation and scripting and mirror work and eating healthy and moving your body and all of the things that we talked about, because doing those every single day are so important to not one just lose yourself
Mhm.
in everything, because I live my life by creating my life by design, literally. Like, and if you don't plan and if you don't create the life that you want, is the life that you're going to get, it may not be the one that you want to have.
Mhm.
So we might as well put those pieces into place to have what we want, or at least some semblance of, calming that overwhelm into that. I think that's so important.
I definitely agree. Having
Mhm.
those practices when it comes to embodiment, scripting, meditation, whatever it may be, it allows us to reset. It allows us to actually look internally and see why we're feeling the way we feel. Yes, we're human. Yes, we're going to go through those emotions,
Mhm.
and that's natural. Okay, we can't hate anybody. You can't be mad at anybody for going through the emotions because that's a normal human thing, right?
Mhm.
So when we go through those, what are the things that and I want y'all to comment below, what are the things that you use to bring you back to center, to allow you to understand what's going on with yourself?
Mhm.
Do you ever take the time to just sit and say, why do I feel this way? Because that's very powerful in itself, just trying to figure out why you may be doing this. You know, I told
Mhm.
Teresa earlier, I didn't want to, I wasn't feeling well and I didn't want to go to the grocery store. And I was mad. Do you hear me? I was mad. And it wasn't my husband's fault. That's just my task. I wasn't all the way, I wasn't 100% sick. Don't get me wrong. Like, he wasn't sending me on my deathbed with the flu, but I just didn't feel like doing it. I just got over a cold, and he was like, and I kind of projected on him. That attitude, I projected on him. And I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I was what you call it? Crashing out. I was crashing out. But with that being said, I took a second. It might have took me 2 hours. He was like, and I love him because he's like, well, I'm not going to do this with you for right now, right now. And he walked away. And thank God he did that because I don't know what I
Mhm.
would have said, right? So after taking the 2 hours to think about it, I went to him and I hugged him and I said, I apologize for projecting my feelings on you because I sat and I thought with it and I said, why am I doing this? And I had to say it's because I just don't feel like it. And I
Mhm.
wanted him to do it, and he didn't say he wanted to do it, but I can't make him say anything I want him to say or do anything I want him to do. So it just took me that time to literally sit and reflect and say, why did I do that? And after that,
Mhm.
we were able to kind of come together. And I told him, I apologize to you for projecting on you because that wasn't okay. You shouldn't have
Mhm.
to feel the way I feel when I'm going through something. And he appreciated that. So sometimes when you sit and you think about what's going on, it just gives you the chance, like I said, to look inward and say, okay, that's why I felt that way. And that's why
Mhm.
journaling works. And that's why scripting works. And that's why meditation works because it allows you to sit with yourself. How often do we sit with ourselves and just think?
That's the hard thing. And that's why I have to be intentional about it and just make it a priority, because it has not been a habit yet. It's like one of those first things that goes when I'm busy. Is like I don't meditate. I don't sit with myself. I don't
Mhm.
journal. I don't do the things that help keep me in alignment, that keep me sane, that keep me grounded. The same thing, we talked about it. And I have to ask you, Did you actually communicate and ask him to go to the grocery store for you, or did you
Yep.
just want him to be like, "Hey," you
Yep.
wanted him to say, "I have the same problem." And that's the thing, we talked about it, and it's like sometimes I had an issue the same day,
And
and I
it's so
called.
crazy that we both had somewhat of the same issues and didn't even know.
Mhm. Yep, exactly, and I struggled, and I'm like, my my husband, he's not doing this, and, I want him to like, why didn't he put the debit card? Because I went to the grocery store, and my debit card wasn't in where it should be, and then it's like, he wasn't listening to me when I was telling him how to send me money, and I'm like, "Why won't he just listen, and why won't he just do this, and why won't he just do that?" And I got into like this spiral, and I had to again sit with myself and take a moment and then just go up to him and say, "I love you." And I do the same thing though too, Keish. I don't go, and when I want him to do something, instead of just asking, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. Can you go do this for me?" It's like I get passive aggressive. And
Mhm.
then I want him to just pick up on it and like mind read. And we had the whole conversation about this
Yeah.
the other day of, I'm not a mind reader, and if you don't want me to do that to you, don't do that to me.
Yes.
And it's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And that's something that, we have to be like aware of, because we're going into, at least if you're on this side of the hemisphere, we're going into winter, and you have the seasonal depression, and you have it getting really dark. You have cold weather. You're not going outside as much. And you can lose yourself. You can lose yourself in all of the progress you've been doing if you don't keep these things top of mind. You can regress in relationships. Like we had, we've had this
Yeah.
conversation of like, you can make all this progress with your partner, and then you're not practicing and doing the things with like communication. And obviously we're all not perfect, and you don't can't
Mhm.
expect to be. And it's like we're on this journey of just always becoming better versions of ourselves. And I think that's why self love is so important, because we have to love ourselves through that and not dog ourselves out and make
Yeah.
ourselves feel bad, but just being aware and in tune with like, okay, I'm regressing backwards, and how can I get myself back on track? And I think this is
Yes.
what you were saying is like sitting with yourself and being honest and having those communications of like, where am I at? How can I get back to the feeling of just where I was before I spiraled and crashed out?
You're 100% right. We're
Mhm.
in, like I said, my favorite saying is we're healing, not healed. Okay. So at the end of
Mhm.
the day, there's always going to be a learning curve. We have to be kind to ourselves and understand that we're not being attacked all the time. And don't beat yourself up for having those moments. Just sit with
Mhm.
yourself and understand why you had that moment. And if you need to apologize or if you need to go to somebody, do it, because it'll make you feel better that you actually took the time to acknowledge how you feel. What we say earlier, it's okay to feel your feelings. Okay, it's
Mhm.
okay to feel your feelings. Like you have the permission to feel. Like it's safe. So in order to do that, sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes in order to reflect, and self-reflection is self-love.
It really is.
Allowing yourself to see what's happening and actually taking the work that you've learned, applying it to yourself. All the advice that we give to everybody else, applying it to
Mhm.
yourself, and then becoming better afterwards. So be kind to yourselves when things like this happen. It's okay that we have emotional responses. Of course, we shouldn't. We're working to not have emotional responses. That's the whole goal, to literally just sit, think, and decide how we want to feel. But it's okay to have emotional responses and reflect on those to see why you felt that way and what you need to do to move forward to make it easier for the next time.
Agreed, 100%. I think that that's so important. I think that just know that this is a journey, that we're here for you. We're cheering you on every step of the way. We will be live every single Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern for our self love chats, where every Monday we come through with an action tip of how we are personally having self love in our life, how are we becoming better? How are we becoming, because we're not perfect. Like, Keisha said, we are healing, not healed. And it's a journey. We're always going to be on this pathway. So if you are struggling with anything that you need help with, or that you want to have be a topic, let us know in the chat and we will make sure to add it to our list of what we talk about. And if you ever want to join Becoming Her, we love to have you. It's our monthly membership where we help you rewire your money mindset and we help you break through these old patterns and create new ones so that you just have a better toolkit to manifest and bring in more money and become a better version of yourself in the process. And we love to have you. And with that being said, we'll see you next week. Bye.